In quantum theory, a common saying is that anything that can happen does. Imagine the most unlikely events happening to you every time you step outside your door or wake up from sleeping for that matter. Quantum suicide and quantum immortality come from this idea and suggest that it's impossible to die from your own point of view and that you've been killed countless times already. The paradox is mind-bending, but makes perfect sense utilizing quantum mechanics. Your true self exists in a quantum many-stateness and is not limited to linear time. The anthropic principles state that anything required for the observer to be observing happens regardless of any apparent exterior factors. The unifying field theory, which unites the theory of relativity with quantum physics, is mathematically sound and suggests that all things have remained connected since the inception of the universe. The matter that makes up your physical body was once a star, and through string theory, on a quantum level, all things remain attached if they've ever made contact. So, all things existed from a singular point that we call the Big Bang, right? Essentially, you are all things in existence and parallel worlds simultaneously with no separation, hence why something that sounds so otherworldly like quantum immortality is a genuine possibility. Your consciousness has no separation in traveling the infinite of all that is, which is mind-boggling. Infinite parallel universes are a chain link of causality we are all part of in quantum physics, and in the study of consciousness, we don't exist in the way most people think, but have to grasp onto a tiny moment of time in order to perceive reality in a way that we can comprehend. In truth, your existence is beyond the third dimension, and you as a whole, past, present, future, they all exist at once. In saying that, theories are suggesting we actually never die, at least according to quantum immortality, which suggests that our consciousness has access to infinite timelines, and the universe itself is theorized to exist in a similar manner, being future, past, present, all at once, and replaying over and over in endless cycles. And in this infinite cycle, your consciousness exists in perpetuity outside the limits of linear time. When you throw the multiverse theory or simulation theory on top of this, it means your consciousness is synced up with infinite timelines and universes. Quantum immortality revolves around the idea that when experiencing death, your consciousness basically just syncs up with an existence in another reality. You basically just go about your business like nothing happened. Pretty weird, right? Exploring quantum immortality as a thought experiment can be unnerving because it means that there's a possibility that your friends and loved ones are not the same people that you think they are. You could have met your demise and traveled to a new timeline, with these people being completely different versions of those that you once knew. Have you ever felt like someone was just off, or changed, or different in an abrupt manner with no explanation? Well, that person could be a totally different individual than the one that you're familiar with, and alien to your memories from another timeline. Whenever a consciousness hops from one reality to another, there will be slight changes no matter what, but it's theorized your mind will jump to a timeline that's not too unfamiliar. For example, manifesting in a timeline where you don't exist would probably suck, and one's higher awareness avoids such a circumstance. In any case, though, there's bound to be cognitive dissonance. Theorists suggest that something would just feel off, sometimes in daily life concerning other people, culture, history, etc. Have you ever remembered something different than how others do? Like a franchise you loved as a kid having different spelling or pronunciation than is familiar? Does history seem to change? Or do famous movies have other lines than those burned into your memory as iconic? According to quantum immortality, if you experience this, you could have died many times over. And every time you manifest in a new timeline, with these differences being noticed by the subconscious. If you've ever heard of the Mandela effect, many say that quantum immortality perfectly explains it. The Mandela effect refers to a situation in which many people believe that an event occurred when it did not, or reversed. And this includes all aspects of our existence concerning this unique phenomenon. Many mainstream-minded people have scoffed at the idea of the Mandela effect, but little do they know that quantum mechanics actually supports the probability of its existence. The Mandela effect was coined back in 2009 by Fiona Broome, one of the first, if not the first, researchers of the phenomenon. Broome was at work in a meeting talking about Nelson Mandela's tragic death in the 1980s, only to be surprised that many people at the conference denied her claims. Nelson Mandela lived a long and achievement-filled life, only passing away back in 2013, so her memories were irrefutably false. This event shook her reality, and she couldn't let the matter drop. Upon investigation, she learned that many others had the same false memory as her. Thus, the term for the phenomenon was coined, and many others would point out other inconsistencies concerning their memories and our version of reality. Here are some notable examples of the Mandela effect. People having a memory of a painting of Henry VIII eating a turkey leg, though no such painting has ever existed. Anomalous cartoons exist in which this memory is represented, but it's historically non-existent. Then there's how the US joined World War I because Germany sank American merchant ships. This is what I remember being taught. However, one of the main reasons was actually the Black Tom explosions, the first terrorist attack on American soil in history and the most enormous non-nuclear explosion on the continent that even damaged the Statue of Liberty. The Germans successfully destroyed an entire munitions factory located on an island off the coast of New York and New Jersey. And since we're talking about New York and the Black Tom explosions, then how about people remembering going up into the torch of the Statue of Liberty? Well, the explosions actually damaged the Statue of Liberty so badly that this is an impossibility. The damage to the arm made it impossible for people to go up, and has been closed down to the public since 1916. Nobody's gone into the torch, yet everybody seems to have false memories of this being a thing. How about Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, and all that gang in cartoons growing up? People remember this series being spelled Looney Tunes, with the tunes being spelled Toons. However, this is a mistake because the proper spelling is Looney Tunes, with tunes as in music, Tunes. Many people remember unique animations during intros of cartoons where these two double O's would interact in unique ways, but this actually never happened. And there are many more examples because the Mandela effect has grown a vast amount of followers concerning all this, but many people feel like it's a recent event, only noticeable after 2012 for some reason, obviously being inspired by the Mayan calendar ending. But in any case, the Mandela effect seems silly and easily explainable and debunkable to many. However, quantum mechanics and quantum immortality support the idea. Is it really possible that you've lived in many dimensions throughout your perceived existence? Or you may be wondering, what happens to the other consciousness that was already there before you? The other version of you? Does it kill it? Does it switch it out to something else? Well, no. See, the consciousness from one dimension to the next is actually the same consciousness. The subjective persona will be drawn over and added to what was already there. Still, the consciousness itself, in all of one's incarnations across the multiverse, is the same current of consciousness. Bizarre, right? Concerning this theory, there's really nothing special about life or death from the big picture, other than to literally everyone experiencing life subjectively in a linear fashion, that is. But big picture, death means nothing. Quantum suicide has the same arguments apply as well. It just means parallel histories will form. Just like if there's any possibility you somehow find a way to live thousands of years, then you will. That reality will exist. Whatever can happen will happen. For example, if you're in a situation where something bad may or may not happen, then both results occur. And this basically happens every single time you have to make a decision, or there's odds of multiple things happening. And each time, a new universe and timeline goes off in each and one of those directions. Whatever can happen will, has, and ever will come to pass. The only thing definite is that quantum immortality is subjective. Though others may come and go from your life, Only you can experience your own quantum immortality. So I'll see you again in trillions of years when the universe has ended and this all starts up again in infinite ways.